Everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play World Waves 3 as Japan. So, it is June 1907. We are at war with France and Britain. Last part, we did 2 invasions of Tonkin. The first one was a miserable failure because our transports just could not find their way to the destination, basically. And of course, the enemy fleet also fled, basically, so we didn't really get a chance to do much damage to them. I think we sunk a couple of destroyers in the first battle, and that was about it. Second battle. We decided to do the exact same thing again, invaded at the exact same point, but this time it went a little bit better. We lost a destroyer, but we sunk a battleship of theirs. Granted, it was an ancient piece of crap from game start. But whatever. And this time the game actually, counted our ships or our transports as having arrived at the destination. And so we got the 80,000 points for that. And so we won that, and that got us like 6,000 victory points, which, oh boy, really. And that also, we literally took Tonkin on that exact same, process, turn, whatever. So yeah, we took Tonkin. Now we're trying to invade Hong Kong before the British fleet arrives, hopefully, because once it arrives, we're not going to be able to do any invasions until we whittle them down. Now my hope is that Russia and the US manage to, grow a pair and they come and finally join the war and assist us. But let's go ahead and continue on. We got a coastal raid here now, which means light cruisers, which I'm fine with. We need to sink 2 ships of 500 tons or more within 100 nautical miles of this. This is the brand new Takachiho class light cruiser with its 10 5-inch guns. Good to see how they actually, perform now in what is their intended role. They hadn't really been doing that before, considering we were trying to invade Tonkin. Now, any fights here are not going to be very fun in the late game. But the reality is we're probably not going to ever have any fights there after this. Go ahead and go down to cruising speed. It's probably fine. Actually, maybe not. Whatever this is, it's probably a transport, honestly. Yeah, okay. Cruising speed it is. That's fine. Destroy that. There's their cruiser line charging at us. And we don't have nearly enough ships to do this. They have 4-inch belts. Do we have the penetration for 4 inches? Not really. Was that the only... No, that's not the only cruiser. Okay, and okay. It is a... Oops, not what I wanted to do. We decided to fight them close to nighttime, which is always fun. You know what, just sink the destroyers. That's probably the easiest way to do this. Just sink the destroyers. They are 500 tons, they should count. Even though the indication there says more than 500 tons. It's probably greater than or equal to 500 tons. But you know what, I'll live with the light cruiser sunk as well. In some ways that's probably preferable. We lost sight of them entirely. Those are not light cruisers or armored cruisers. Those are destroyers. Something that turn really slowed us down. Okay, 2-inch belt. Gotta do it. I wasn't really considering it, but you're tiny, buddy. Well, not tiny, but you're very lightly armored. So I actually have a halfway reasonable expectation of being able to sink you without too much of a hassle. Assuming you don't just keep disappearing on me. Fortunately, it kind of seems like it's going to be the case. Ooh. Okay, well, these are the old destroyers, so I don't mind too much if they get sunk, but I would like to at least sink something of theirs in exchange. Oh, I forgot to get my timer started. Go ahead and tell that one to head back home, even though I'm not sure if it'll make it. Akashi took a torpedo. Yep, you're gonna break off so that you can try to control yourself. You're also gonna sail north towards port. No, you're going to sail north towards the port. You're not finding them. Okay, you controlled your flooding. Speed up a little bit. You've controlled your flooding. We'll do 10 knots, that's okay. Not finding these ships again. Say it like that so that if you're less inclined to hopefully end up joining up with these guys again. Okay, well, let's go ahead and sail, I guess, back towards the objective and see if we can run into anybody. Probably not. I think day's a little too far out for us to be able to just kind of wait. That is probably a transport. Fortunately, we lost sight of it because we didn't turn around quite fast. No shit, those are... That sure as hell ain't the transports. We drew them back down towards the objective marker so that we can make sure that they count and there's no worries about them being too far away to count. I don't know what the hell you were thinking with that torpedo. That one actually had a potential to hit. I don't think you're going to be able to make it to port. You're way too slow. But you can try. need data come. I really do. That way we can actually freaking see them. Destroyers when you have the opportunity. You're more likely to be able to sink a destroyer than a light cruiser. Not that you don't have the ability to sink a light cruiser, it's just, it's harder. Requires a lot more effort on your part. Again. Try to stay ahead of them as much as we can. I don't know what the hell you're doing. About to be day in Taiwan. Again, break off. Don't want to be that close. It's another destroyer of ours. Probably going to lose another one. I will have you try, but expectations are very low that you make it. About to be dawn. Spotting range will go up a fair bit. If we had slightly bigger guns, we could, you know, do this significantly better. Lost one fire control on the Takachiho. I think we did some major engine damage hit or something to one of those light cruisers because they have slowed down significantly. Go for the wounded gazelle. Yes, go for the wounded one. Sink it. Sink it. You know you want to. Sure. Go and pick up our survivors. Although I don't think we have enough ammo for this, to be completely honest. No, we're down to below 40%. It's okay, that one's on... Oh, God damn, these eclipses are blocking me from being able to escape. Okay, just turn north. That I don't think was going to hit anything. just gonna sail for frickin' Philippines. Aha, there we go, we sunk 2. Somehow. Don't ask how. And just significantly wounded another Eclipse, but the Naniwa is not doing too hot. Takachiho, I need you to maybe dissuade them so the Naniwa has the chance to try to gain a little bit of ground. Shimakaze, go do your thing. Scare them off. Run, run, run from the tiny 300-ton destroyer. There we go. You need to fix your engine, dude. You need to fix your engine. Because you can't be relying on the Shimakaze and the Takachiho to be able to dissuade them forever. You can only do so much. Your engine literally got worse. Shimakaze, go scare them off a little bit more. Make them go north. I mean, I'd rather they didn't go north, honestly, because that's where I would like to go if I could. But I can't. Off again. Fix your engine, buddy. I need you to make this Eclipse run. Wait, Eclipse. You know you want to. Okay, yeah, Naniwa's going north now. I mean, I'm fine with it. If it's misunderstanding the signals and going north, I'll survive. Piss off, Eclipse. I see you back there, you bastard. This Eclipse is actually going to get on my nerves, isn't it? Okay, we sunk a light cruiser and a transport. But hey, we completed the objective. That's good enough for me. That's 2,000 victory points for us. And Taiwan gets its 6-inch gun batteries. No, don't let them off lightly. There we go. Oil firing if access to oil, but we don't have access to oil. But Britain and Russia and the US do, and there we go. There's the massive fucking British fleet. Oh, hey, and their battleship, or excuse me, their battle cruisers are here. Cancel that to save us some money. I think you use that to try to at least start working on getting the battle cruisers out, even though I'm pretty sure those battle cruisers aren't the greatest thing anymore. But we'll survive. Another coastal battery, or a coastal raid rather. But this time it's a defense, and I got the Suma, the Aso, which is an Awate, and then a random grouping of some independent Asakazes. Well, goody, we spotted them very quickly. Saves us the trouble. What did we spot first? Supposedly a battleship. Pretty sure it's not a battleship. I'm slightly curious how you confuse an eclipse with a battleship, but okay. Oh, there we go. Light cruiser masquerading as an armored cruiser again. I don't know what the AI's deal is with those, but it loves those designs, it seems like. But you just stick with the ASO. Thank you very much. I don't feel like controlling you right now. Don't have a particular role for you to play. Holy shit, the British sent a ton of freaking ships. This is clearly a British operation with French support, and not the other way around. Which, you know what? I don't mind sinking British ships if I can. I'm just not sure if we will be able to, because, you know, they just got far too many fucking ships. And I don't. Maybe if the the Russians and the Americans would choose to help us, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, we'd be able to do more. But it's a little bit hard when you're, you know, fighting two major European powers, one of which is basically the, you know, leaders of the ocean. So much you can really do. Oh, jammed another turret. Go off, try to fix your turret. Oh no, disabled, not jammed, so may or may not get it back. Okay, we got it back, luckily. You could actually hit him, and he only has 3 inches of belt armor, so, you know, you should be able to pen that with ease. Oh hell yeah, you can pen that at max range. Assuming you could hit him at max range, which, yeah, good luck with that. Actually, I think you can pen that. I mean, you'd have to get significantly closer, but you can pen 3 inches of belt. Absolutely love to draw them back up here if we can. Why the hell is that battery right over there? That's the stupid place to put it. whatever. We got it. Oh shit, they actually do have fucking battle. What the fuck kind of shit is that? Seriously. They get fucking battleships for a coastal raid where they have plenty of cruisers. Really? That's some bullshit. Okay, and I see that these patrol boat corvettes are just something that the game just kind of gives you. You know what? I would absolutely love and find it hilarious if I managed to torpedo these Duncan-class battlecruiser battleships. Joy. Both those torpedoes missed. Take you guys off AI control to make sure you actually head into port instead of getting lost and confused, which is a very real possibility with AI pathfinding sometimes. That's not a good time to be getting confused. And us fighting this. We don't have nearly enough fucking ships. And again, the game gave them fucking battleships for a coastal raid. Just gotta let that tick off by. Now, if the game was nice enough to give me some of my battleships for this, you know, I probably would have been more inclined to fight it because we'd have a significantly better chance of succeeding. I'm going to pull up the design of the Duncans. Pretty sure they're not that great. They're a 1898 design, 4 12-inch guns, -2 quality, 6-inch belt armor with no, I mean, they got central firing, good for you guys, but I mean, that's easy enough to get. 18 knot speed. You giving my Fujis? I'd have been more than happy to have fought that to the very end. I really would have. Try to get Russia to, you know, decide to fucking join in, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. Just fucking auto-resolve it. That wasn't going to be worth fighting, and we would have just run away anyway. Yes. Sorry, I need to get France out of this. So, intelligence service is considering offering safe passage for a revolutionary of some renown to his home country, France. This will foment a revolution and may force them to the negotiating table. On the other hand, revolutions tend to be contagious. What do you recommend? It's France. What's the worst that could happen? Oh, we just got 900-ton destroyers. That's wonderful. Enemy troops invading Tonkin. Well, shit. Guess we gotta defend that. But at least I'll have my battleships. Right, game? Okay, now the question is, whose heading is actually correct? And I believe generally that's determined by what the, you know, basically flagship is doing, which in this case, the top division, Battle Division 1, and they're heading due east. Which means I'm inclined to say the enemy is due east. Thus, that is direction that we will be sending the fleet. Now I will have the cruisers, no worries, go south, just, you know, cover our ass. If they are south, then we won't be leaving ourselves completely exposed. But in theory, yeah, no, they should be due east. We just got to find them. Found them, and yes, hey, lo and behold, they were to the east, not to the south. The transports might be down here to the south for all I know. That I don't have the slightest clue where they are. Oh no, that looks like that's the transports. That legitimately looks like it's the transports. You know what? If we can sink these early, I would be very happy. That would make me a very, very happy boy. Well, maybe they're not the transports, actually. Huh. Nope, it's not the transports. Damn. Would have been nice. It's not. So we'll have to hunt those down still. We found the combat fleet, which is the main thing anyway. You know, I want to sink these guys. The transports are a nice extra. You know, the points for them making it annoyingly, I think, more than would make up for me even just sinking their entire freaking escort. And thus, they would annoyingly still be considered a success for the mission, and thus the invasion would succeed. Because the only thing that matters there is that you have the points. Fast enough to actually really close the distance. Battle line back here. Okay, those very slow things, those are definitely the transports. So, oh hey, at least their naval invasion planner was smart enough to make sure that the transports are behind the escorts. I know, I know. Madness, shocker. Who would have ever thought that that was a good idea? Well, apparently the British did. Our guys, for some reason, said, nah, let the transports go first. They can soak up the enemy shots. I just stand there with my head in my hand, thinking, oh my god, you're an idiot. The transports, annoyingly, I don't have a nice, easy way to just kind of get in there with the transports. Fortunately. Oh, no, god damn it. Go for the guy who's literally like right next to you. You'll have an easy time hitting him, and a couple of good shots and he'll be sunk. Their Invincible class, which I would just love to sink for the irony of sinking an Invincible. Torpedoes, because good fucking luck getting in there and doing anything with guns, because the guns still aren't the greatest, and that's partly just because of accuracy nowadays. The guns themselves are actually good, they're just not very accurate still. Yeah, I would love for you guys to turn north to avoid sailing directly into their battle line, but you can't really do that because the destroyers are kind of there. 5.5 inches. 23 knots, okay. They'll get away from us. We can't really chase them with most of our fleet. I think that's gonna hit. Sandwiched between two destroyers. Oh, thank God, one of them is sunk, so probably didn't get a torpedo off. Juke south. Juke north. It's doing too hot, but it did take a 12-inch hit from the Asahi, which is this one here in the rear. Please tell me you don't have a rear torpedo tube. You might have a rear torpedo tube. disarray. I mean, I can't say I'm surprised by that, but that's not what I want. How about how about you go for the one literally right next to you, huh? Seeing him on the list. Am I just blind, or is the Rodney class here literally not on your list for some reason? Okay, now you're firing at him. So now you see him on your list. Although I still don't see him. What the hell do I know? Shit, the Yakumo just took a torpedo. I was going to say it took a big hit, but no, it was actually a torpedo. Try to sail the port. Fuji's going to try to sail south to get back in the action. You guys have a Lancaster that's just, gunning for you. He's hit. Missed. Fine. You need to completely there you go. That's potentially going to hit. You need to land one more. Took a torpedo, and that one took a torpedo. Wonderful. It's gonna break. These, I don't know what the fuck our destroyers are doing, but they're just refusing to freaking get involved. And I mean, in some ways, I can't fault them. They're not exactly designed around it. They really don't. What's your torpedo on? Starboard, okay. Duncan had a flash fire, and this one took a torpedo. Wonderful. You're on fire. Also on fire. We're gonna have to do significantly more damage, but we might manage to sink a couple of their battleships at least, which would go a long way in helping us win this. Somebody's in the fucking way. Suga then needs to break off and try to head to port. Missed. Transports are all the way down there, and I don't think I have any ships that are in a position to really do anything about it. Outside of the destroyers. If I can manage to get them organized enough. Fucking torpedoes did they fire at you that you were dodging 4 frickin' times? What's going on here? Holy shit. You know what? Fuck it, just power on through. Sinking. These Zumos. Shit, the Fujis are absolutely in the thick of things. Because I lost track of them. I was focused on shit up north. That's a destroyer. I don't even know why I fired that. That's not going to hit. Had a collision there. Try to have these guys go for the transports if we can. If it's better to try to turn north and go back to port, or what, considering just what kind of clusterfuck you guys managed to get yourselves into, because I forgot about you. I mean, it is because I forgot about you, but you still managed to do it. So we need to sink the frickin' transports. Stop ramming into me. A set of transports that can attempt to maybe, possibly. Fuji are not having a fun time. And the Fuji is stuck. And the Iwami is super slow. They really hate the Kasuga because they keep hitting with torpedoes despite the fact that it's gonna sink no matter what they do. Also managed to break through. The Iwate, however, is not quite in the clear yet. And I say that, but it's not really in the clear yet either for the Aso, because there is a battle cruiser down there waiting for them. We prioritize things like the destroyers. Things like the destroyers, the transports, the stuff that is important to destroy as soon as possible. Destroyers aren't important, but they prevent you from being able to really close with the transports is the main thing, really. You guys need to get in there. You need a torpedo. Do it. I know you can do it. You have the power. I gave you the power. Do it, Ayanami. Do it. I know you're taking one for the team, but if you manage to land these torpedoes, and you managed to land neither, good for you. Okay. Your name is not going down in history as, you know, the hero of the Imperial Japanese Navy or anything, because you done fucked up. Kazu's not going to be able to do it now. It took a very big hit. Oh, and these are the ones that have the, yep, those are the ones with the side mounted. The transports now, guys. They're a much bigger threat to your survival. Still have a torpedo, but annoyingly, the Nokaze happens to have died in like just the right spot to be in the way. So you sunk before the Nokaze did. The transports. As long as we sink the transports, they can't do anything to us. Get that torpedo off. Wonderful. Need you guys to rethink your approach there. Also, don't try to fire your torpedoes. There we go. That's one invincible down. Now you guys need to sail the hell to safety. Sunk a battle cruiser. That's all that matters to me. I mean, not really, but you know what? It is. That's how important that is. Okay. Another flash fire. That's the nice thing about fighting the British. They have a lot of flash fires. They don't tend to work out very well for the British when those happen. Nation. Not really in a position to do much. We're just going to go ahead and I think have most of these guys all just head back to port. A lot of them are very badly damaged. If anything, the only thing you can do is try to, like, distract. And reality is, I don't know if I want you to do that. In fact, you're probably better off probably going to Hainan instead of trying to turn around. Where's the other Invincible? Oh, it's over here. Now, the only bad thing about flash firing the British right now is that the way the game works is when you get a flash fire, it in the background basically adjusts things so that the idea is you evaluate what caused it and make changes to your processes so it doesn't happen again. So the chances of another flash fire happening go down. Obviously, this doesn't get updated until after a battle. So we can get a whole bunch now. I don't know if the game only increments that like by one or if it's incremented literally for every single flash fire period. Watch is going to sail south. The Yasso is going to try to force these guys to turn around a little bit. To give the Iwate a chance to gain a little bit of ground. So the Yasso's not doing too hot. Well, it's actually doing very hot. It's on fire. So guys are going to sail north. Consider this a job well done. Even though it really isn't. I'm going to focus on getting out of here. The Tokiwa is going to attempt to keep these guys off you. Go for the destroyers if you have to take a pick. So's put out its fire. These guys have sort of broken apart. I don't know how many transports we sunk. I need to prevent them from being able to get 4. Damn, the Fuji's sinking. The is on fire. Like, lots of fire, and it's flooding. So it's probably going to sink too, honestly. You know what? No. You're not going to try to get a few more. It's just not worth it. Way too many ships there for you to be able to do it. Yep, everybody just head into port. So we've lost both of the Fujis, unfortunately. They lost a fair few battleships, and a battle cruiser, but it's gonna hurt because the Fujis are the best of the best battleships we have. Literally all we have now are the Shikishimas, and I mean, they're not bad designs for when they were made, but they don't fully hold up anymore. It's the Osama as well, more than likely, unless they turn off for some reason. Or they just decide to not follow it. I'm fine with either. This is going to be very hurt. This is going to hurt us a lot. And again, it's an issue of we're fighting the fucking British. The British are very annoying to fight in this game. They really are. They require a concerted effort across multiple countries, realistically, to have any real shot of succeeding, because they just have too stupidly large of a fucking navy. Certainly at the early game when you haven't had a chance to really build up. It's not quite as bad when you've had an opportunity to build up. But this is still far too early game for us to have had any chance of beating the British. If it was just the French, easy. If our allies would get off their asses and join us, you know, we might actually be able to do something, because the Russians could attempt to blockade them or something. Or, you know, even just provide some extra frickin' ships. But unfortunately, that's just not how it's going to work. Now, if I'm lucky, they're not going to actually have made it. Oh, we still won that. I'm frankly surprised by that. The battleship must have been worth a whole hell of a... Actually, no, it's mostly because they didn't frickin' arrive. Actually, it's not. I don't know how. I'm frankly surprised. Really? I'm very much surprised that losing 3 battleships on our end. And, oh, well, granted, okay, we sunk 6 battleships of theirs and a battle cruiser, heavily damaged another, sunk 3 armored cruisers, and 16 destroyers. Okay, yeah, sure, I guess that's gonna fucking hurt. Ooh, 18,000 points, thank God. Not that that matters, because we just lost a fair chunk of our navy. And we're still, and most of it's freaking out of commission for a turn or two. Yeah, we got nothing we can really do until okay. Hey, America, what do you happen to have in terms of technology that might be helpful? Well, I don't have access to it. I could game, but it's a question of if they have better technology that makes it worth doing it there instead of doing it, you know, at home. Seems like it might be. Maybe, possibly. Oh, you actually have torpedo defense. Damn. Yeah. 24 makes you want to be a light. Excuse me. Makes you want to be a battle cruiser. Timer that just went off. We do this. I don't know. I'm inclined to say yes. And part of it is if we actually go to the almanac here, the USA is considered very advanced compared to us. So, you know, building stuff in their shipyards is not the worst idea ever. So we could get some tech there. In fact, actually, Russia's considered behind compared to us now. I think this is like just, you know, based off of like an average level of research or something here. Do we? Oh, we don't really have money, is our thing. We don't really have money. Never heard of it. If we get the Tsukubas out, you know, that would help, but those are freaking 30 months out. So those are going to be a while until they're ready to go. And yeah, we just don't have a freaking... we're probably going to skip a few battles for a month or two to let our ships repair. Also, we may want to consider... You know what? Actually, we will consider a armored cruiser design out of the... Jesus Christ. No game. We're not doing wing turrets on a freaking armored cruiser. That is something I refuse to do. Yeah, you're -1, same as me, okay. Just had to check. Less torpedo protection, give me that, thank you. Again, game, I know I can build it myself. But it's a question of taking advantage of their stuff. Okay. Can't make you 25 knots, the game throws a fit. Can we do dual turrets on that? No. Excuse me, the reason the game threw a fit was actually because I made you 10 inches of belt armor, which is not allowed. How fast can I make you before the game would complain about you? Apparently... 35 knots looks to be the most, because then we somehow get negative horsepower. I'm not quite sure how that works, but sure. So theoretically, we could make you up to 35 knots, which is not happening at all. 19,500 is the largest you can be. Actually, probably 19,900 is the largest you can be. Okay. How fast can I make you? As fast as a destroyer. theoretically, and still have tonnage to spare. I can make a 29-knot armored cruiser. I find that silly, but I like it. I like that a lot, I really do. I wouldn't do that, though. It doesn't need to be that fast. It's a little silly. Slap 150 rounds per gun. We will have 2 aft turrets. One is a V, so superimpose. We'll splurge a little bit and I think go with spacious accommodations potentially. We don't really need to. We'll make you 27 knots. Okay, so having a V turret makes the secondaries 20% slower rate of fire. Unless I casemate them. Not going to casemate them. Give you more ammo. Give you more ammo. You know what? Screw it. We're going to go ahead. We're going to design a Yakumo. We're going to have the US build it for us. Totally not so we can steal their technology. And we're going to have an AVY configuration. I wish I could do oil and turbine, but I don't have access to oil myself, so I'm not allowed to. There we go, though. Yes, I like this design. Okay, nope, still maxed out at 34 secondaries and tertiaries total. Okay. Well, this is what we're gonna design this. We're gonna let it go, and we're gonna have the US build it for us, and we will love every second of it once it finally comes out in 20 years. Because it's not happening anytime soon, because we don't got the money. And we're not getting the money because they're not giving me any more money. Again, you could join us, guys. Both the US and Russia have 500,000 tons to their name. They single-handedly rival France, and together, with me, rival Britain. And actually, together, they rival Britain. Alone, in terms of fleet tonnage. So they could join. If they do, take some pressure off me. I can do a little bit more work. And, I don't know, might make everybody's life better if we can do that. But that's not happening because, Jesus Christ, my allies are useless. My allies are absolutely useless. I will see you all next time. We will be continuing this war for probably the next few parts because it's going to drag on for a while until one of us is forced to make peace. I really hope the dude that we provided passage to France for is going to wreak havoc in their territories and cause a revolution so that France is forced to the negotiation table. I don't know if that'll force Britain or not. I mean, they're allied, so it's not like these are separate wars or anything. So if France capitulates due to revolution, Britain might as well. Not because of revolution, but they might, peace out as well. Just kind of decide to go for a white peace effectively. Yeah, we'll see how this goes, I guess. But God, this war is gonna drag on. I already know it. It's gonna absolutely drag on, and it's not gonna be a fun experience. Especially because they're probably gonna be doing a lot of invasions of Tonkin. And they're just gonna keep trying and trying and trying, and they have the resources. We don't. So I'm really not gonna enjoy this war. I'll see you all next time. Until then, goodbye and farewell.